This is the Lunatics and Legends podcast. A lot of things have happened in the last few weeks that have been absolutely crazy. Let's address the comment section first. I'm going to come right out and say it. My favorite comment still is Coors Hat eats hot dogs, we'll say.
Yeah. Actually, can you pull that up on your phone? Because it's fantastic. And I really want that person to know how much we appreciate it. When you sent that to me the other day, I laughed out loud. No one was around. It's like, that person's awesome. I want to buy them a beer. Like, I want to have a Coors Light with that person.
I actually commented back on it and told her, like, hey, just want to let you know, this was a couple days later, like, just want to let you know, I still appreciate your comment so much.
It's so funny. It's so simple. It's to the point. There's not a single part of that sentence that needs to be removed or added. It's perfect as it is.
And since then, we now refer to Brandon as Ched in this household because Coors Hat eats hot dogs. And apparently, I hope we don't get like some type of copyright infringement on our own product.
I'll be sure to write to us to tell us we have to cease and desist.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think that comment is right up there with cellar door.
Just the most beautiful thing that could have been said. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, that human being is so fantastic. I love her so much. It's going to take me a moment to find it.
All right.
However, I do want to give a shout out to Lorraine. I probably shouldn't say her last name. However, yeah, the other day I was just elbows deep in being called a
all kinds of terrible things.
Yeah, a person from Germany in the 40s and,
What, a farmer?
Something like that.
Oh, okay.
And, an elitist, Illuminati.
Ooh, CIA plant. That's my
CIA
new favorite.
plant. Yep.
CIA, friend of the show. Big sponsor.
Or maybe not. What else was that we ourselves are doing the things that we champion against consistently.
Love for them to pull that evidence up.
Right.
I'm enjoying it. I love that there's interaction down there. There's also some really positive things. There's some people that have come in hot about some things, and you've been like, hey, we're just a couple of dudes that built a studio in my house, and we're doing all this on our own. We don't have any financial backing. There's nothing. It's just with the time that we have, we're creating this. And people being like, oh, you know what? I came off hot. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like there's been a few of those too. So it's been a pretty fair mix of outright hate and then also like, okay, cool, man. You guys are all right.
Well, and that guy specifically, I felt was a shining example of like what a man should be like.
Sure.
Hey, yeah, you're right. Came a little spicy, and you were super respectful. Speaking
your
to me,
response
I was
was
being respectful to him, because it was just a simple slip up. Like, in my head, I'm like, this is awesome. Like, Opus Clip put us out a really cool video. Let's post it. Having no idea, again, that it didn't mention specifically what it was. And then everybody was accusing us of like rage baiting and, holding off information so that they'd comment. And I'm like, that's not it at all. I just don't have money to hire an editor.
Also, I suppose we should hit that real quick with Opus Clip because I didn't know what that was until we started doing this. So Opus Clip, mild friend of the show, because it sets us up sometimes. It's a software that goes through the content that we record. Like I'll go through and edit everything, get our main long form set up, and then when we're uploading, or rather you, Eddie, because you do this part with the software, we upload to the software. The software does a lot of AI cutting and sectioning things out for us to review before it sends out. So it's kind of like having a team of people doing a bunch of work. It just does it in the software, and then Eddie goes through and revisits it to make sure that it's in some capacity what we want. And sometimes things come out maybe not exactly how we want, or something gets missed because we're new at this. And so Opus Clip is a software that is helping us get the content out in the time frames that that all the algorithms suggest.
And there are times where there's videos that like I really love, but the person's just cussing up a blue streak. Mm-hmm. And I don't want somebody to be scrolling through their Facebook or, YouTube reels and just hear, F and S right. and A and T and B and, So, yeah, I attempt to clip some of that stuff out as well and just make the story kind of flow a little bit more smoothly. So, my B dog.
I definitely am a fan of going through and reading those. I know they say they say when you start a channel, like, don't do that because you can get negative. It doesn't bother me. If that's where a person, if that's where they're at and that's what they felt compelled to say, I kind of do want to know. And it's fun. And a lot of time when they're insulting us heavily, it's funny. It is legitimately funny. Some of these people, other people, it's pretty basic, accusations like, okay, cool, you're mad at the world, so everybody that you see on the internet is clearly pure evil. Got it. That's cool. Right. I can dismiss that. That's not that big of a deal. I love finding the ones where people are insulting us and it's genuinely funny.
Yeah. Some dude compared me to Aaron from Jackass,
which I want to see. I want to see that connection. I don't.
Yeah. I was like, aside from having a mustache and bulgy eyes, like I don't know what you're talking about.
What I say the other day is like, oh, you've got a face on the front of your head. So yeah, there's a direct correlation. You guys are nearly twins.
Uncanny. Yeah. No, but I mean, I think that if I were like filled with ego, then yeah, like it would bother me, or I'd be like, I put all this hard work into giving you something and you call me stupid. Then yeah, I'd probably care. But in the same right, like, as I've said multiple times in the comment section, we're just two dudes doing a podcast, two friends that like hang out and talk this way to each other on or off camera. Like, that's just what we do. And so, you think you're going to hit me with an insult that Brandon hasn't yet? Like, good luck.
And if you do, I'm super excited to see it.
In the Air Force, I was called trainee Oompa by my drill instructor.
That was nice of him.
And then our brother flight was marching behind us, and we were all marching, and then they started marching to the cadence of Oompa Loompa Doopa.
Just for you, huh?
Yep.
That's nice. What's a brother flight?
So when you're in training, in basic training in the Air Force, typically it's a sister flight. So you have all the men in one flight, and then you have all the women in another flight, and it's brother and sister flight.
Copy.
However, we were given another male flight that operated with us. So we had drill instructors that would kind of swap back and forth. Like, they'd take a night shift on this one, etc. But we were basically in the same dorm, just like one floor above. Coors hat, eat a hot dog.
You want to show the camera? Just show the camera real quick.
I don't want to be considered doxing her.
Is that doxing by showing the handle, the Facebook handle?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it really?
Well, probably not, because she made the public comment.
Yeah. Anybody can go there and see it.
I mean, Rindarlin.
It's so good. Friend of the show, 100%.
Friend of the show. It's just still funny, dude. Coors Hats eats DIK.
Eats bathing suit area.
Eats the no-no parts.
I hope we got some likes on that one.
There it is. You were supposed to crop her name out, not our comment.
You already said it.
Man, I think this is the most dog shit content we've created.
Maybe. Okay, there you go.
I mean, you left her picture, but that's fine.
I feel like that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go, Brandon.
There it is.
Is that centered up on the screen?
Probably it is. It's great. And that's probably the best comment we're ever going to get.
Yeah. Ched for life. So, Yes, there have been a ton of comments. I've attempted to respond to all of them. It becomes overwhelming. Not making excuses, just being realistic about my abilities of hours in the day as I work constantly.
Difficult to prioritize every single comment over getting the work done.
But we do read a ton of them, and we respond to a ton of them, and we absolutely love them. And
It's
like,
fun. It's
my,
fun.
My high school friends were just absolute savages. Like, we went hard on each other all the time. And so, you know,
Yeah.
it's something I'm used to. There are big plans if we end up monetizing well with this, to support the end of trafficking and to support those who have been trafficked. And we already have like charities picked out and organizations and such. And we were talking about possibly formulating our own 501c3 that would help combat those issues. And, you know, I think we got our last community strike on TikTok before they took us down because we were talking about basically show the damn files, you know? And I don't know. For all I know, that could be what that last strike was for me, was like hopping on some big platform and being like, all, what do they call them so that they don't get in trouble? P3DOs or whatever. Hang them all. Like
Was it Ohio just passed? One of
Yeah.
my new favorite law.
Yeah.
They have brought back capital punishment specifically for people who are guilty of that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
That is
By the firing line.
a huge win.
Yeah. No, huge fan of that. I think it's a bit too quick. Not the implementation of the law. I mean,
No, that actually too late.
yeah.
That should have.
I'm saying we'll say the execution of said new law.
I see what you did
think
there.
it's too fast.
Nice.
Thank you. I think it's a bit too fast. I think it should be a little bit slower of a process, but then that's where you get into, you know, cruel and unusual, which I get. However, if I
The
were
behavior
hired,
that got them there is cruel and unusual.
yeah.
So at the same time, let's take the win. At least those people in Ohio are being removed from the equation.
49 more. 49 more states follow suit, please.
I think the comments like that in the comment section, what you're talking about, I think I have a hard time believing that somebody actually really thinks that. I think that's just more of I'm just going to poke the bear and say crappy things in a comment.
Right.
Now, of course I could be wrong. There's no way for me to know or validate that. It's so upside down that it feels like something that is so, it's the kind of intentionally immature thing that I would do to just poke at somebody and be ridiculous.
On the internet.
I mean, I don't do these things on the internet, but yes,
Right.
you know, the same way I know if I can say something that's going to bother you, I'm going to do it. And especially if it's super childish, I'm really going to do it, right? Because I know it's going to be funny. So I see those comments and think that's probably what that is. That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And what makes sense to me doesn't necessarily make sense to somebody else. I'm creating a context. I'm thinking like, all right, that person's just poking the bear a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, I'm taking it very much the same way, where it's just like, okay, dude, you're on the internet like being a tough guy, or, you know, not even being a tough guy, just being a troll. Online, again, grain of salt. This is just some person who, you know, either wants to get a rise or somebody who just has a really ugly life.
Yeah, I think the this person is looking to get a rise. That seems to track the most. I'm also taking a perspective of best case scenario as opposed to darkest scenario. All right. Anyways, that's enough about that guy. That guy's gotten too much attention already.
It's been a wild ride reading these, and most of them make me giggle. We are going through, and if you received an invite, then that was done by my hands or my girlfriend's hands, personally.
Manual individual invite per person. So if you get an invite from Lunatics and Legends Facebook page, that's because you or your
My girlfriend
physically clicked a button for that person.
Yep. And we have also read some hilarious names. I did not list them. However, there are some absolutely hilarious names, and I love that. That it helps the time pass for sure. But yeah, we just scroll through and we'll giggle about names as we're going through there. So, according to a lot of what we're seeing in the analytics, people are absolutely loving the discussion of, 80s, 90s shows, right? And I already kind of thought about like, hey, we should follow up on that and do some more stuff. And I didn't have anything prepared. However, read a ton of the comment section and, the suggestions of different shows that were essentially saying the same thing. And completely separate of that, we decided on Father's Day that we were going to have family movie night. And I was like, well, I'm going to pick a movie, one of my childhood favorites, Little Monsters. And we got about halfway through that movie and we're like, you know what? We're going to shut this down because a young girl does not need to be exposed to the things that movie was throwing out there. There was a scene where Fred Savage gets depantsed and there's like a creepy little troll sitting behind him and it goes, nice ass. And again, this is a kid's movie, right? Shortly thereafter, they end up going to Fred Savage's little crush.
How old is Fred Savage in this show?
Maybe 12, maybe? Okay. And his crush, I would assume, is probably about the same age. And she's laying in her bed, and Fred Savage is kind of looking around the room and finds a picture of him, and says, oh, she likes me. And meanwhile, the monster, played by Howie Mandel, puts his head right next to her pillow while she's sleeping and tongue flicks at her. Like,
so a grown man in costume,
yes,
on camera jumps on a bed with a little girl, an underage girl,
yeah,
and does a tongue flick thing. It's supposed to be funny somehow, but really that's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the 80s and 90s as a kid.
I wonder how many takes they did of that. Like that's pretty wild. Yeah, the 80s were a different time.
So we decided to shut that movie off after that. And I went, you know what? How about instead a nice wholesome film? Let's put on Little Rascals. Who could go wrong there? Pretty much off the rip. Alfalfa slicks his hair back. Again, maybe like an 8-year-old boy, something like that. And he kisses this like 8-year-old girl. And,
Yeah, we've all seen it.
Right. So we get what the joke is referencing. It's not his hair, right? Okay. And aside from a little bit of goofy stuff here and there, like, and I'm not like mother henning it, like knitting circle. Did you see what they're doing? Like, I'm just saying, wow. So then the concept of like, how many times do those kids need to kiss in this film? We watched half of it. It was her bedtime, so we sent her off to bed. However, in that half, I think those kids kissed like 7 or 8 times. But I'm wondering what writer or what director was like, you know what we need to do in this scene? We need to have those little kids kiss again. Because it's overbearing. Like it's too much.
I think also if you zoom out, like literally zoom out on that shot, how many adults are watching little kids kiss each other over and over and over again?
Right.
It's weird, okay? And how many times did they do any one of those takes? It's supposed to be an innocent thing. It's actually not. That's not innocent. It's inappropriate. And for a bunch of grown adults to stand around and watch that repeatedly, it's gross.
Yeah, so there are kids getting paid to kiss on film while I would assume tens of people, of grown adults, are standing by. And I believe even back then they still had people on set and on scene that were supposed to be advocates for the children and make sure the children weren't being put in precarious situations. And, you know, I was chatting with AI about this, like,
Boomer.
you know, it was like, oh, but Hollywood's done so much to fix that since then. And I'm like, you sound like a Hollywood apologist. And it's like, oh, I don't mean to, you know, don't worry, I'll give it to you straight moving forward. And I'm like, all right, give me specific examples. And it starts going after racial issues that were in cartoons and being very specific about it. I'm like, okay.
Of which there are very many.
Right. And we can discuss that.
Yeah.
However, I was like, all right, but that's not what I was talking about. Let's go back to this specific topic. Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, you know, there's the alleged part where in The Lion King it says SFX. And I'm like, it did not have an F, dude. That was absolutely an E. Pull up the pictures. And it's like, yeah, I can see where you would say that. And then there was the alleged phallic symbol in The Little Mermaid. And I'm like,
you're arguing with AI about things that are known quantities. That's amazing.
Because I'm attempting to formulate my large language model to respond to me how I want it to respond.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think it's funny that the AI was going to bat for an entire industry for no reason. Like, there's no benefit to the AI to argue with you about it.
And that's why I was calling it a Hollywood apologist.
Yeah,
and was amazing. Like, no, you're not doing that on my watch, bud. And you know, it kept doing it, the alleged phallic symbol on the cover of The Little Mermaid. And I'm like, who?
It's clear as day.
Right.
Folks at home, it's easy to find and it's very obvious. There is no mistaking what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, they mentioned a bunch of things allegedly that we allegedly said on the show. But I mean, there's so much of it out there, and to like attempt to kind of walk it back and like, you know, but it's alleged. And, you know, I was like, all right, let's dig into the Dan Schneider stuff. And it's like, well, there were some accusations made of inappropriate behavior and a conspiracy about his fetish with feet. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, well, what charges did he face? Dan Schneider has never faced any criminal charges, but it's important to know that these were all just alleged accusations and they haven't been proven in any way. Okay. All right.
This industry is such a mess.
It's disgusting, dude. And yeah, so, you know, again, I've said it in the comment section. I'll probably be right. We're going to get canceled so quickly because we don't care. I don't care about Hollywood. I don't care about people, you know, thinking that we're great in positions that I think are scummy people. And I just don't care about their opinion of us. And we're grassrooting this anyways. Like if they don't want to give us widespread audiences, like then don't do it. I don't care, but I'm still going to get this stuff out there. Yeah. And okay, so if we're relegated to being a small time podcast or small time show, it is what it is.
In context, we are far less aggressive about the topic than say Sean Ryan, right? The way that he talks about this topic and how hard he goes at it, it's we're lightly touching on it comparatively.
Right, but he's also not going after Hollywood.
He's not avoiding Hollywood.
That's fair.
He also has a massive team of lawyers behind it. They have the funding for him to be able to speak as freely as he wants. We don't.
Right.
Period.
I mean, like, I know a lawyer.
Stop. We don't have it. Yeah.
But he probably doesn't practice this type of law. So it is what it is. Come at me. Hassan Piker, you want beef? I can't wait for that cease and desist, dude.
That's going to be so much fun.
That's going to be a milestone for me. Is like, you know, we made it because Hassan Piker sent us a cease and desist. Friend of the show. So, yeah, I mean, there's tons of different things that different avenues that we could go down. And like, almost to the point of like my cup runneth over. Like, and they're still doing it. Somebody reached out via a encrypted chat, and this person had said some pretty wild claims about who they are and what they've done. And I'm attempting to kind of suss that out, right? Had a few conversations with this person. Very interesting. And, you know, every like hurdle that I threw in front of this person, they just easily went over it. And, you know, unless this person sat back and practiced this conversation for hours on end, I don't see them being able to that quickly come up with a response and it be something accurate and verifiable. And
I make
wild
up that
story.
I make up that this is a different AI language model that is not running interference for Hollywood. That's immediately what came to mind. This person's totally fictional, and it was just a conversation with like Claude or Grok.
As in, I'm making it up?
Yes.
Not at all.
All right. Well, I'm going to put it in the comments section that you're making it up.
Okay. You threatened me with that before and you did nothing.
Yeah, I forgot. I'll forget again.
No. I'll make sure to send you this clip.
send me
Come at me, dog. Brandon.
Yeah.
You want beef? No, this person is very much real and very much protecting their identity. We ended up having a conversation over the phone with this encrypted app, and but the conversation that we had was fascinating. And like, we're talking FBI's most wanted and like secret cabals, and
They got juicy, huh?
dude, wild. And there's stuff that I'm not even gonna like discuss because it's even active right now, that this person is actively out there doing things to protect children. And like, I am all about that. So I wanted to put that person in contact with some organizations here that they could possibly discuss it with. And if the possibility of getting this person on the show, once things are verified, happens, then I think that's going to be a pretty wild interview.
If we can verify, great. If we can't, well, you had a pretty interesting conversation, it sounds like.
Yes. And I absolutely love the fact that there are organizations out there that are pretending to be kids. In fact, here in the East Valley, they just busted like 15 people. There was
Good.
like a joint operation amongst the different departments.
Good.
And they busted like 15 people and put them away. I love that.
Hope they ship them to Ohio.
Yeah. Is there any way we can reach out to Ohio and see if there's a way for them to extradite up to there?
I don't know. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Right. I mean, you know, there is like...
Is it Ohio? I don't even know I think it's Ohio.
Idaho.
No, it's not Idaho.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Why don't you ask the Oracle?
I'm gonna.
Which state recently enacted capital punishment for crimes against children?
That noise.
Several states have recently enacted laws allowing the death penalty for crimes against children, particularly for sexual offenses. Florida
How
passed
about ones that involve the firing line?
the firing squad? Well, that's a bit old school. Right now, the recent laws are typically about lethal injection as the
Right, but that's not what I'm talking about. Gemini could have done such a better job
Hold
at
on.
this.
I'd go back. You interrupted. I was about to give us a list of states that do this. And you're all worried about firing squads.
Yeah, because that's what the recent law was.
Well, let's do that too. But let's also hear the states that are supporting this and give them a shout out. Those states are friends of the show.
All right, fair play.
Okay.
Give us a list of states that'll kill you for touching kids inappropriately.
I want to be clear. When we talk about laws like these, we're looking at serious legal debates and constitutional challenges. Right now, a few states have enacted laws to allow capital punishment for certain sexual crimes against children, including Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. But keep in mind, these laws are likely to face legal scrutiny, and whether they'll be upheld is another story.
Just so anyone at home is attempting to understand what I said silently, friends of the show. Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Now, which state specifically just recently passed a law that you can get death by firing squad for inappropriate crimes with children?
It's not going to tell you.
Some states have passed laws allowing the death penalty for child sexual abuse. Florida, Idaho, and Tennessee have made certain sexual offences against children under 12 eligible for capital punishment, even though this conflicts with a 2008 Supreme Court ruling.
I'm glad I asked the question because we kept saying Iowa.
You
Or
kept
Ohio.
saying Iowa.
Or Ohio. Hold on a second.
I told you it was Idaho.
Yeah, no. I believe you now, and that's why I brought it up. It's like, I don't
You
even
believe
know.
me now that I proved it. Thank you.
Yes. I'm glad we verified. Go, Idaho. Does Idaho have a state income tax?
I don't know.
Because if it doesn't, it might be the perfect state.
I feel like the content that I'm bringing is gripping and exciting. It's fresh and new, Brandon, okay? It's hip. The kids dig it.
The kids between 35 and 55.
Yeah.
as it's
Those kids, according to the analytics.
Oh, anybody in the sound off in the comments if you've seen Ghislaine Maxwell roaming around your town. Apparently
Yeah.
she's been doing that a lot lately. A lot of, oh, we saw her here. Oh, we saw her there. Yeah.
Not a friend of the show.
Nope, not at all.
In fact, that person that reached out.
Knows exactly where she is.
Nope. However, discussed some things in the files that needed to be released. Some esoteric, some interesting religious artifacts, and that there was a link between Jeffrey Epstein and hiring people in New Mexico to go recover religious articles because of the power that he believed that they had.
You're saying that the Ark of the Covenant is in New Mexico. Awesome.
I feel like I need a much better Nicolas Cage impression than I was about to drop right there.
But yeah, that makes sense. If the Ark of the Covenant is anywhere, it's clearly in New Mexico. So that, and I'm sure there's a shroud and a cup, a couple of other things there.
I think the Ark of the Covenant is in the Grand Canyon.
With the London Bridge? No, that's in Texas.
No, the London Bridge is in Lake Havasu, and it's still standing.
Can't keep up with these things.
Fair enough. Not one for history, are we?
Not the important parts,
Sugar.
clearly.
I believe in Nelphilism. I believe that there was an entire technologically advanced society that inhabited the Grand Canyon. And if you look at kind of the hierarchy of Native Americans, from what I've been told, the spiritual hierarchy is that like the Hopi are supposed to be like the highest in that class of spirituality.
So did you mean to say Nephilism?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I say?
Nephilism. It was weird. There was a couple extra letters in there.
Yeah, Nephilism.
And it was like, is that, do I just not know what it is? Am I confused? Nope.
No.
So for the comment section, got there first, kids.
Leave a comment. I don't care.
Comment section, friend of the show.
So anyway, Nephilism, big giants that, you know, and the history between like the fallen angels reproducing with humans, humanoids, right? However, I mean, there's a lot there.
Yep.
There's a lot there.
I also choose to believe that in addition to that, they're all lizards.
You're not speaking of
No, they're the lizard people.
Oh, there are lizards.
No, those are the giant lizard people.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Nephil.
Yep. The Nephilizardism.
Nephilizards.
Yep. The Nephilizards.
Outstanding.
It's more fun.
Okay. I got one for you.
Go.
So, when I was in college, I used to go to a specific diner that serves up breakfast food and plays 50s music all night long, 24 hours a day, and they had Wi-Fi there. And I would sit in there and I would do my homework. And while I was in there doing homework one night, there was this dude who was hanging out, and he was with this lady. And I don't remember what brought the conversation up, but I think I was outside like hitting my e-cigarette, and he comes out to have a cigarette, and he's like, "What's up, man? How are you?" And we just start chatting, right? Now, as previously mentioned, I studied the deception theory at ASU. I studied lying and body language and micro expressions and all of the things, not all of the things, but I studied a lot of the things about understanding deception. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, this man, worst case scenario, believed 100% of what he said. So we start talking. And this dude goes, "Yeah, I just got out of the military." I go, "Oh, what branch?" "I just got out myself." And he goes, "I was in the Air Force. I was in 05. It's pretty reputable, right? He retired 05. Solid.
Question.
Sir.
Was that verified, or this is just he said he was 05?
I saw his retiree card because I showed him mine. I was like, "Hey, I'm a blue card too, buddy." So
there's a joke in there somewhere. I'm just going to move past it, though.
So we're chatting. You can go ahead and cut your bullshit out.
I won't.
In edit.
I won't.
So we're chatting, and this dude starts talking to me about the things that he saw. And he was talking about there is an entire, now you were talking about the catacombs, right? Mm-hmm. There is an entire tunnel system that already reaches from Phoenix to LA. And he started talking about how they were making these all over the country, underground catacombs connecting city to city, right? And he said that he was not there. However, there was reports of, while they were burrowing through the ground, they, I guess, came into some type of hive of large reptilians, and they were briefed on it. They knew that they existed because they've ran into them before, but it was something to do with, like, basically they just shut down the elevator and was like, "Nope, they're staying down there," because they ran into the pocket of them, and like 4 airmen or something along those lines ended up losing their lives because they just stumbled into this thing. And I was blown away. And he's like, "I am telling you, this is 100% real." And it threw me for a damn loop, dude.
That's wild. Did he talk about like whether or not these were like
intelligent beings?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Oh, okay. So they were very aware of what they were and what we are.
Yep.
And they just hang out down there because they don't want anything to do with us? Like, "Oh, those weird people up there, that's good. Let's just stay down here." Or are they planning some kind of a takeover? Like, what is the agenda there?
I don't know, man. I know that lizards like to hang out in holes in the ground, and they come out and get sun and such, but perhaps these intelligent large reptilians in lizard form know that they cannot expose themselves right now.
Well, I hope they're all vegetarians. What?
They're not.
Oh, copy. All right.
They're not.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. So's your response.
Agree to disagree. I think I pretty much nailed that one, sir.
Such a fucking dad joke, dude.
comment section. Let us know. Actually, I kind of like we can position the comment section as a mediator between you and I,
Okay.
settling scores for us.
Type Eddie in the comment section if you think I'm right. Type Brandon in the comment section if you know he's wrong.
I'm just waiting for them to type.
This isn't a live stream, bud. You're not going to see this for weeks.
Hmm.
We gain when people go ham in the comment section. We realize this on accident, but it makes videos trend like crazy, and I'm okay with that, right? However, about like different things that they've seen in cartoons, connections that they've made between certain things in Hollywood. Like, I think that there's a lot of really cool rabbit holes that we can go down and
I agree.
discuss.
And not all of them around child SA rings, right? There's all kinds of other interesting things going on there. I mean, quite frankly, it's nice to be able to go into the comment section and see what people want. I want to spend a whole bunch of time talking about how much the CIA loves us and how they helped us get from this brand new podcast a few months ago to, you know, all this attention and all these followers. I'd really, you know, shout out CIA.
Friend of the show.
Government money is best money. There's so much of it.
Ask Tucker Carlson, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Sean Ryan, friend of the show.
Mm-hmm. I don't like Tucker Carlson.
I like Tucker Carlson.
I think he should probably just put his little bow tie back on and go back to what he was doing before.
I don't disagree that he should put his bow tie back on because that was a very Tucker Carlson thing.
The clown routine is best suited for him. He does that.
I think he's fantastic.
Bow tie back on, white makeup with some red dots and a big red nose, and that'll be perfect.
What about him don't you like?
If I really had to lock it down, I'd say probably everything. It's really difficult to find a redeeming quality about someone I don't know anything about.
That's a massive cop-out.
It is entirely. I don't have any energy on him. I just know it bothers you when I say I don't like him.
I think he's fantastic. He's hardcore about rights. He's hardcore about the Constitution. I think he's a fantastic person to discuss those things. He's eloquently spoken. He's educated. He grew up in massively different cultures, and the dude just loves to fish and like make content and fish.
And I'm gonna stand my ground. He's a clown, and I don't like him.
We can shut the cameras off. If this is the shit you're bringing me,
I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
No, I like Tucker Carlson. I think he's great. I think he was one of the only people that actually discussed the weird things that are happening in the United States that was on a major news channel. I think he had to be shut down because of the accusations that he made. I think there was a lot more truth and validity to the things that he said than he was given credit for. And now these things are coming out. I mean, what was that just massive drop that Tulsi Gabbard let out?
That was a big one.
And wasn't that what they shit canned Tucker Carlson for? Was making that accusation?
I mean, I don't spend a lot of time listening to the guy. Sometimes he says things I agree with. Sometimes he says things I don't agree with. And that pretty much applies to pretty much
anybody.
Exactly. So if I were to have a real opinion of Tucker Carlson, I would consume more of his content. I just like making fun of him and saying I think he's a joke and a clown and all this because I know it. You're like,
I'm not emotionally invested on it. In fact, I will say I think he has the most obnoxious laugh in all of media.
I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Yeah. He cackles.
Well, Crowder's got a pretty irritating laugh too.
Not placing it.
So that Steven Crowder guy?
Yeah. No, I know who Steven Crowder is.
He's
Crowder.
Yeah.
Mug Club, buy my mugs. Because I can't get sponsored any other way. Or no, didn't some gun company sponsor him?
Oh, Walther.
Yeah. There you go. I was thinking Beretta for some reason. Oh, yeah. Walther and his super sweet mug club. Not friend of the show.
Walther can be a friend of the show if they'd like.
Yeah, I'm cool with Walther. They make some all right stuff. We were talking about Steven Crowder's laugh. I don't remember it. I don't remember it. But Tucker Carlson has a massive cackle like a hyena.
It's so bad.
And it really, like, to me, this is where I can see people would find him to be obnoxious and smug, is when he is like getting questioned on something and he's like, that's crazy.
It's a shtick that comes up every time he gets a question.
Right. And yet I also think that he's witty and intelligent and quick enough to be able to respond eloquently to comments that people make. And I've seen people attempt to like hit him with a gotcha and he just absolutely destroys them.
I've seen that too. I'm really excited to see our comment section talk about your love affair with Tucker Carlson. This is gonna be great. They're going to go hard in the paint on this.
Here's one that people might enjoy.
Give them as much fuel as possible.
Through editing these videos the way that I've edited them, I used to comb through all the videos and hand pick the clips that we would post. Hence why, thank you, Opus Clip. No sponsorship.
Mild friend of the show.
Mild friend of the show. You reach out, Opus Clip. We still got some conversations and the bugs that you need to work on. However, if you speed up my voice and the way that I speak and my cadence, if you speed it up to ×2, I sound damn near identical to Ben Shapiro.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I speak very chippery in little staccato spurts. And
well, I'm going to have to cut that in.
Yeah, go ahead. Would you like me to say like some talking points that you can speed up quickly to show people how I sound like Ben Shapiro?
No.
Okay. You had a golden opportunity there to get me to make some Ben Shapiro-esque statements on film.
Kind of why I said no. That's content I do not want.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm a particularly big fan of that guy either.
Same.
Yeah.
Some
things I agree with, very little these days.
Same.
Very little.
Same. And there was a massive, like, when he came out and was telling people that, like, they shouldn't be able to retire at 65. How effing disconnected. Oh, yeah. He came out and was, like, basically saying, like, Americans are spoiled and we shouldn't be allowed to retire at 65. And, like, what are you talking about? You should be working the entirety of your life. And it's like, how disconnected are you, bud? You get on a microphone and you talk into a microphone. I see how easy this is. Now, granted, we don't have his numbers. We didn't start when he started. We're doing everything grassroots. That's the most grindy part about all of this.
The grind part is off camera.
Right.
This is the fun part.
He ain't adding people one at a time on Facebook.
Or editing his own videos.
Right. He's doing none of those things. He's showing up and being a personality, right? So to get on the microphone and say that, like, oh, you know, you shouldn't be able to retire at 65. Like, what do you have back problems at 65? Like, yeah, bud.
How many Americans have back problems in their 30s and 40s?
Right, Aaron.
Anybody listening ever been in the military?
Right.
Like,
I have 4 crushed vertebrae, 4 herniated discs, you a-hole, and I'm diabetic. I don't think I'm going to see 65. So it just went to show like how absolutely disconnected he is from the average American person. And it's disgusting. It's just wild to me. And I mentioned this before, just how radically people are shifting, like politically. I mean, I'm still very much in the same mindset that I was when I was in the military. Like, hey, I just want to be free. And so long as my freedom and happiness doesn't infringe on somebody else's freedom and happiness, I should be allowed to do what I want, right? I want to shoot fully automatic machine guns in a safe direction. Period. If somebody wants to be in the safety of their own home and smoke bad things, let them. The moment that they commit a crime because of or with that in mind, then yeah, nail them to the wall. But to harm yourself with consumption shouldn't be illegal. Do more people die from smoking rock or heart attacks every year? Clearly heart attacks. Why do we glorify drinking, which it's definitely going the opposite direction. People are not drinking like they used to at younger ages. Like when we came up, that was what you did.
That was the agenda.
Right.
How quickly can we get to mom's wine coolers?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not there anymore. However, for the longest time, they glorified it just like they glorified smoking cigarettes in like the 50s and 60s. And they demonized all of these other things. And it's like, well, you know, and I'm not advocating smoking rock. I'm just saying.
Are you sure?
I'm just saying if somebody wanted to do it, they should be allowed to do it in the privacy of their own home. I don't care. If you are able to have a bad habit and keep that bad habit to yourself, cool. Every time I've hit my e-cigarette around you and the wind blew the vapor towards your face, did I not go, sorry about that, and attempt to clear it out?
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
my bad habit.
That's apples to apples with smoking rock. I mean, how many people are able to smoke rock and it does not impact other people's lives negatively? I mean, I think it's
again, if they can do it without impacting other people.
Again, when was the last time somebody was addicted to smoking or smoking rock, as you said, or hard drugs, and it didn't affect other people negatively? Doing those things that affects people. Like, sure, maybe once or twice at home in a week, whatever, but that's not the kind of thing you do occasionally. People that behave and take hard drugs do them all the time. It immediately affects other people. I mean, it undoubtedly. Do you know anybody that does hard drugs and those choices didn't affect other people?
Yes. Off camera, I'll name one of somebody that you know, and you'd be like, what?
Could be, but to say that had no impact on anyone in their life, that's pretty tough. I was a drug addict for 10 years.
Yeah.
Pretty big group of friends that were all drug addicts. Everybody's choices affected other people in their lives negatively. Not that we were running around doing hard drugs in front of everyone, right?
Right.
The confines of our own homes, nonetheless, those choices absolutely had negative impacts on other people in our lives.
Right.
No
and
question.
I view it from a lens of easy results, often harsh, always fair. If you have any care for the people that are in your life, that you destroy their lives because you're a scumbag drug addict, then like, it is what it is. It might have been Jaime's episode where he's discussing how, or we just had him in the studio, where he's discussing how his bad decisions with substance abuse led him down that path where he was homeless and had to have
a drug addict.
Right.
Yeah.
And had to have a serious look in the mirror.
I think that there's also and you would be able to speak to this with far more knowledge than I would because I was not in the military, but most of the people that I have crossed paths with that came out of the military that suffered from depression and drug abuse and alcoholism and homelessness, all of these things, their time in the military was over, and then the things that they experienced were never, the military had nothing in place to help them figure out how to unpack and reacclimate into society, and so they just got thrown back into it, and of course things went sideways. That's really sad.
I would say that not only do they not have systems in place for that, they also vilify reaching out for help.
You mentioned that with Jaime, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I also mentioned the fact that we live this type of life where everything is right now, right now, right now. Go, 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 go. Hurry up and wait most of the time, right? But it's very high stress. And I'm not getting on some woe is me shit. I'm just talking analytically. It's very high stress. You're living in situations that most people don't live in, and you have I mean, that veteran body thing, like, yeah, it's the amount of cortisol that we end up having in our systems from navigating
nonstop stress.
Right.
Nonstop stress.
And then when you put into consideration, like, combat, and you put into consideration a lot of different factors, a lot of us, when we get out, we're chasing that rush. We're chasing that adrenaline that we felt when we had to be in, incoming mortar attacks or such, right? Indirect and direct fire attacks. And so a lot of us get into riding motorcycles. A lot of us get into skydiving. A lot of us get into shooting sports. A lot of us get into combat sports. And, it's that chase of feeling alive again.
Sure.
And I'm not going after my brothers and sisters in arms. However, I've seen ample amounts of people that peaked in the military. It's like peaking in high school. They peaked in the military. They, I know tons of them that were picked on in high school, so they joined the military to prove themselves and what a man they are. And then they peaked in the military, and then they got out thinking, they were just the cock of the walk, and then ended up, wait, what? This is what reality is? This sucks. I hate this. And so they turned to substance abuse. They turned to gambling addictions. They turned to alcoholism. So again, substance abuse. But I mean, even more, illicit substances. And I think it's just a way to attempt to fill a void. And it's like, okay, but also flip side of that coin is if you're capable of mitigating where those attentions go to, entrepreneur veterans are something like 80% more likely to have success in their first 5 years of having a business because of all of those same factors. We are conditioned to handle problems, and entrepreneurs have to be able to handle problems.
Military is built on systems and structure from the ground up. I don't know how well that's executed, but that's what that is. So I can imagine that, people that come out of the military understand structure to a degree in a way that a lot of kids coming out of high school and going into the workforce don't really. And there's a different level of accountability I'd assume that you would have to have in the military.
Yeah.
Right. That most people don't really experience just coming out of high school and going into a generic workforce. That makes total sense. I would like to think, I'm hopeful that ideally if there were programs specifically for veterans to help them as they're coming out of the military and reacclimating into society, that level of homelessness and drug abuse and substance abuse rather that is so common that would be cut down significantly if there was actually help in that space. And so to your point about like homelessness for veterans, like this is a huge problem in this country.
Yeah.
And which political party is doing a really great job at helping with that?
Nobody.
None of them. Exactly. Zero.
I mean, yeah, man. I got a ton of opinions, and I'm not going to hop up on a soapbox right now with them because I could marathon this shit.
It's crazy the amount of issues that are huge social issues in this country that people are aware of and talk about, and no one's doing anything about it. They'll talk about how they're going to do things about it, and they'll say this is getting better. But you can go look at the numbers; it's not getting better. But no one will actually go and look up the information and follow up. So we're being told all the time this is getting better, and it's not.
I mean, release the files.
I mean, they did release a whole bunch, Eddie. That wasn't enough?
Legally, no. Redacted.
Redactions on top of redactions.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
I loved when they had that slip up where they censored it and it was like, oh, you just have to do this and it shows everything. Yeah. I hope that somebody just massively downloaded all of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of that, yeah.
I don't want to get too political on the show. However, I will say, release the damn files and don't ever campaign on something that you're not going to do. I think it's wild to me that, I don't want to say bring back tar and feathers. However, that was pretty effective in its time.
I have some pretty strong opinions about what the population should be doing with most of our political class.
I mean, that's the reason that I support the people that I support, because I believe that they are genuine, and I believe in what they're doing, and I don't believe that once they get into office that they're just going to be that typical DC scumbag who makes big promises, doesn't deliver on shit, and, you know.
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, however, let's look at the positive side of things. Way to go, Tulsi Gabbard. Dropping some heat on the way out. Who is that dude? The military guy? Totally spacing. I want to say his name was Joe something or other.
Not sure I know what you're talking about.
Within like the last 2 months, the guy basically burned Trump and then like walked out. Stand by.
Okay, boomer.
Shut up.
You've got 3 AIs on your phone right now. We're going to drop a 4th.
Are we, though? Who was the recent cabinet pick from Trump's administration that quit his job because he felt ethical concerns that were compromised? That's not him. Joe Kent. Okay, so Joe Kent, director of National Counterterrorism Center, March 17th, so a couple months ago, resigned in protest of Iran policy. So that dude as well, just like, nope, I'm out. You know, like I said, Tulsi Gabbard resigned, citing family health. Lori Chavez DeRimmer, Secretary of Labor, resigned, citing misconduct probe. Okay. Pam Bondi, fired as she should be. Kristi Noem, fired as she should be. However, yeah, good on Joe Kent. Good on Joe Kent. And, you know, the people are going to come at me either way. I don't care. I just don't care. I'll be real. I hate what happened to Thomas Massey. I think that's total horseshit. I think that it takes a certain amount of grit to stand against a bunch of people that all wave the same, you know, banner that you do, and say like, no, we're wrong.
Yeah. For the people that don't know, Thomas Massey is a Republican, and he openly and vehemently disagrees with a lot of what the Republican Party is doing, and saying that's not what being a Republican is, and stood up and said, no, we're not doing this. I'm not supporting that.
Right.
And so the Republican Party shut him down and booted him out and spent tens of millions of dollars in campaign money to get him out. Is a pretty disgusting thing.
Yeah, I believe that was the most money ever spent on that level of campaign. I think that he has fought ethically. I love the idea that now he's not concerned about re-election. And quite frankly, I definitely see a bid for the White House, and I would assume it's going to be a Massey Paul or Paul Massey ticket.
I don't think it gets past a Vance or a Rubio ticket.
I'm pretty sure Vance is at odds with Trump now.
Yeah, he can be at odds with Trump. When Trump's done, it's what the party wants. So is the party going to want a Massey ticket? I don't think so. I think for all the reasons that you like Massey, or all the reasons that they don't, and so they will squash that.
I saw it with Ron Paul in 2012. I got spit on by the head of the RNC in Arizona's daughter and called a commie.
Oh.
As she called me a commie doing this, spit on me while being held back by someone because I refused to cast my vote for Mitt Romney.
Which everyone should refuse to cast a vote for Mitt Romney.
Right, but at the time that was the RNC's golden boy, right?
I recall that guy's a dumpster fire.
I am a registered Republican again, so I can vote in the primaries. However, it put a really bad taste in my mouth to think about, do I find it obnoxious to push any type of gender movement or any type of sexuality movement to children? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think you should teach anatomy, but I don't think that you need to be indoctrinating kids in either direction. Okay. So that's one thing. However, do I think that it's repugnant for same-sex couples to be in love with each other? Not at all. I have no energy on that whatsoever. I was at a Halloween party once, and there was this homosexual couple that was there, and there was a man dressed as Al Bundy, and his partner, he was dressed as Peg Bundy. And I thought it was hilarious. And I went up to him and I was like, "Sir, that is the best outfit that is here. Fantastic job. I know exactly who you guys are, and I love that." And he's like, "Dude, thanks a lot, man." And we started talking, and some dude who just hipster tool came up and starts arguing with me because I didn't goose step to what he believed, right? And eventually Al Bundy ended up just looking at him and going, "I would appreciate it if you would stop speaking for me. I don't believe any of the shit that you just said. And furthermore, he has been the most polite person that I've met at this entire party. I don't need you to be my champion and knight in shining armor."
You mean they didn't need somebody else to be offended for them?
Exactly.
That's wild.
Yeah. And the dude, clearly defeated by whom he thought he was the ally of, turned around and walked away. And then I sat and chatted with Al and Peg Bundy for probably another hour and a half. They were fantastic people. I don't care. I don't care what is your yuck and what is your yum.
Yeah, I mean we've hit pretty hard on the consenting adults
Agreed.
topic.
I don't think that it should be pushed so much in politics.
I mean, I agree, but the reality is that these things do touch so many lives, and there are some pretty strong opinions about these things from both sides that it's inevitable. It's something that would be nice if we didn't have to go that hard in the paint into, but we do. And I think that anything, like you said, with kids in school, yes, we have to have an anatomy class. Duh, right? Preferences of attraction. This is where I don't think it's appropriate. It's not necessary. Kids are going through a lot, and they're all confused about a lot of different things, and they're all experiencing their surroundings in whatever way it is based on the variables that are going on. And a lot of things do need some explaining. It's not the school's obligation or responsibility to do that, especially when there's so many agenda-driven people running schools and in charge of these things. Those are people I definitely don't want anywhere near my children.
Right.
It's not their responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Agreed. And I mean, there shouldn't be, as I said, there shouldn't be indoctrination on either.
Oh, I
spectrum,
completely agree.
Right. Are there physiological things that intercourse between a man and a woman will create that won't happen between a man and a man or a woman and a woman? Yeah, clearly. That's called science. However, let those be explained with the least amount of bias possible.
I think it's amazing that what you just said is actually in 2026 fringe science.
Right.
That's wild.
Right.
That's classified as fringe science.
I think it's classified as fringe science to fringe people.
I don't disagree with you, and that's still what's being pushed in front of everybody.
And the squeaky wheel, I get it.
Yeah.
However, I mean,
just leave kids alone.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
Yeah. They don't need to be indoctrinated. And again, I'm saying on both ways. If the kid that I'm raising, if she ends up deciding, hey, look, I am actually attracted to girls. Okay. neat. Like, how can I support you in having the best life possible? That's all I care about. Does it make you happy? Is this a phase? Like, sure, some questions should be asked. Like, do you think that's the case for sure? Or do you think that it's a trend because of all the indoctrination that's happened? And she's not in that age yet where it's going to be a thing. But what I am saying is like, I don't care. I don't care. If I had a kid of my own, a boy, and he ended up homosexual, like, I don't care. And I'm not even saying ended up like it's a negative. I don't care. Some of my favorite people are in same-sex marriages. You know one of them specifically. I love her to death.
Consenting adults, if no one's getting hurt.
Right.
And that's how they're happy. Who am I to tell them they can or cannot?
Agreed.
I'm not the arbiter of other people's lives and business, so long as it is not negatively impacting others.
Yeah, when we had that video go viral, she was one of the first people that I called. Because I love her to death. And I was like, hey, bud, just wanted to tell you how amazing I think you are. And guess what? I have fantastic news. The podcast did a thing. And it's, it's all love. I absolutely love that woman. And there are, homosexual men that I have immense respect for. And I just, back to it, I don't think it should be in politics.
It's not it's not a defining characteristic of a person.
Right.
It's not. And why people put so much weight on that and have so much energy on it is beyond me.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's crazy. It's crazy.